Yo, what is going on, guys? It is me, the man, the myth, the legend, Zydash. Actually, am I a myth? So how am I making this video right now? Today we're back with another tutorial where I choose one of your comments and show you guys how to make the thumbnail of that YouTuber that you commented down below. So today we're gonna be doing JUSTVURB, a British YouTuber who's friends with Landon and Preston and lots of other people. So it's about to be awesome today. If you guys are excited about this, leave a like and subscribe, and also don't forget to comment down any suggestions you have. Now, you guys have been commenting a lot and I am very behind because I've been focusing on streaming rather than recording and uploading videos and tutorials, so I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna try to grind through and get as many YouTubers that you guys suggested on my Preston Plays tutorial as soon as possible. So without further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. Now, there's not much to say about how JUSTVURB makes his thumbnails, but I'm going to show you guys how to make something like this. He does lots of trolls on his channel on Skywars, and it's similar. The thumbnail style is actually similar to lots of other YouTubers and even Preston himself. So if you guys watch that tutorial, this shouldn't be too hard for you. Now, you guys should notice that he adds a lot of contrast on his thumbnails as well as the brightness. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So the first step is to, first of all, of course, open up Minecraft. Now, what you're gonna need besides Minecraft is the custom NPCs mod and a couple of fonts, but I'm gonna get into that later, and I'll put them in the link in the description below. Everything that you need is going to be in the description, and also you're gonna need a skin URL as well. Almost forgot to mention that. And light loader. Now, light loader is what you use to download worlds with the world downloader mod. But there's lots of tutorials on how to install that mod. It comes in its own separate launcher, so if you guys want to really know the best way to install it, I will probably link a tutorial and shout out the guy that made that tutorial down below, just so you guys know. So that's what we're gonna need. I already downloaded the world, and it's the plateau map. I just renamed it so that I wouldn't forget. So I'm gonna head into here. Now, I already got the trap set up. It's gonna be a door trap because, like I said, he does traps, so I thought this would be appropriate. So I got the door here, making it as realistic as possible with oak woods, because that's one of the building blocks you get in Skywars. So all we gotta do is place people and screenshot them. So oops, did not mean to do that. All right, so first of all, you're gonna need your Npc Wand, and you can do that by going up here, going in there after you install the custom NPCs Wand, clicking the first tab and going over here where it says NPC Wand. You drag that down, and all you gotta do is right click somewhere like this. Now, once you've done that, we need to hide the person's name first of all. We're gonna keep it as Steve for now. You can keep everything else here, and now we get into a little more complicated stuff. So now we go to AI, the AI tab, go all the way down to movement, click edit, and go to animation and keep clicking until it goes to sneaking. Once you do that, you can click done. And now I'm actually going to go back to display and remove has a living animation, go back to AI, go back to movement and edit, and we're gonna make him stand still. And to do that, we're going to go to rotation. It's already selected as body as the default, so we're gonna click it again and we're gonna make it manual. Now for this, you can set it all the way to 360 degrees, make him turn as much as you want to so that his face is facing the thumbnail. Whoa, you did a little weird thing there, pal. So we're gonna worry about that later. Now for our noob that is naively walking into the door trap, we're gonna set him here. We're gonna make him face us later by rotating him. We're gonna get rid of the living animation, so no, hide his name, go back to AI, go to movement, click edit. Now for rotation, we're going to change it to manual again so that he's not moving around, and we're just gonna, let me just rotate him right now so that he's facing, and that should do it. Yes, there we go. Now they're facing each other. Awesome. Now one of the last things we need to do is go to advanced, and now go to here and click it 3 times, the left 1, 2, 3. So where it says puppet, now we're gonna click edit, and now we can move him to make him look like he's sprinting and jumping at the same time. So first of all, I'm gonna go to his left arm, and which one is it again? I believe it's X. Yep, it's X. All right, so it's X. Remember that. All right, so we're gonna move it to the point where it looks realistic but not freaky at the same time. Now for the right arm, all right, leave it at 65. You guys can pause the video and copy it. Now for the right arm, we're gonna set it in the opposite direction, and like that. And I'll probably adjust it later before we move on. Now for the left leg, so it obviously needs to correspond with the opposite arm. And now for the right leg, this way. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Just click X when you're done. All right, it looks okay. It looks okay. Now we just need to make him like hover. So go back to the AI, go back to movement, click edit, and now moving type. I'm pretty sure that's what you, nope. Not moving type. Click where it says ground, and yeah, flying. So click it once and it should make him fly. And finally, we need to get our skin. Now JUSTVURB likes to use noob skin, so I'm going to get that. I'll link Nova skin in the description below, but let's just get it out now. So here are his thumbnails, and now all we got to do is type in Minecraft and novaskin.me. Go over here and click and type in noob. Now click noob. Actually hit enter. Click the first one and it should pop up right here, and it should create this URL. Now all we gotta do is highlight it, click copy, go back into your Minecraft, right click the guy, go where it says texture and click it until it says URL. Now click that and press Ctrl V to paste it, and you should be good to go. There we go. We got our noob skin here, and now we are ready to take our beloved screenshot. So you know the deal. Oh wait, dude, what are you doing? Hold on, guys, hold on. Almost forgot to set it to manual. There we go. There we go. And now, actually, before we take our screenshot, I forgot to make this guy move a little to the right. All right, so go back into the AI and set him to 45 degrees so he's looking at a 45-degree angle. And I guess that's good. That's a pretty good angle in my opinion. So now, once you're ready, hit F1 and take your screenshot. All right, now that I found the perfect angle, try to get it like something similar to this angle, like close to the Steve, the skin that's about to close the door. Once you're ready, hit F2. And I always say, always get more than one in a different angle, just in case you don't trust yourself, so that you don't need to go back and forth between Minecraft and your Photoshop. So once we do that, we can go on into the actual Photoshop software. All right, so once you do that, open up Photoshop. I already got it opened up. Here's the thumbnail. Now once you get in here, click file, click new, and we're gonna name this tutorial 4.1 and put the 0.1 at the end because I named this tutorial 4 and I don't want to overwrite the file just in case something happens. You know, with 1920 height 1080, you can set it at 1280 by 720 if you want. I have a preset here, so I don't need to continuously type in the resolution all the time. Once you're doing that, click OK, and now we have this. You guys know the deal. He likes using the sky background too. Who doesn't? It looks awesome. So we're gonna get that sky background. So we're gonna click file again, go all the way to place embedded, or place if you're on the CS version, like CS6 or CS5. And I'm gonna find that sky background right now. Alright, so I'm going to use this one. So I'm gonna double click that, and now you can drag it to one corner, hold shift, and go on the other corner and drag it down like this. I don't know why I've been confusing shift and control whenever I've been recording lately. So once you're done with that, press enter like I did just now, and now we're going to get our screenshot from Minecraft. So click file again, go to place, and scroll all the way down. It's gonna be the most recent one, so we're gonna double click this, and you don't need to resize it just yet, but now we do the magical stuff. So now we're going to head down here, click our magic wand tool, and we're gonna start clicking areas and getting rid of the things so that the sky background is visible. This looks better. But before we do that, right click your layer over here and go to rasterize layer so that we can actually edit it. Now I'm going to start clicking around and getting rid of each part because the sky is the same color, luckily, so it makes our life a whole lot easier, and your life too. So I'll get back to you guys once I'm done with that. Alright, now we are done for the most part. You see there's some spots that I didn't click out with the magic wand, like some parts in the tree and whatnot, like over here. But I found that actually that's a good thing, because when you add the outlines and the drop shadows and stuff, it kind of makes this look a little darker, because you know there's edges here, and that's how Photoshop works. But yeah, so it's just your preference. I didn't do it because it's a tutorial. I'm not really gonna put that much effort, but I still am at the same time, if that makes sense. Anyway, I digress. Once you're done with that, hit Control T, and we can transform this, and we can move it around and resize it to whatever we want. And this probably isn't going to be the final size. Actually, I think I'm gonna make it bigger, like this, like so, just a little bit bigger, but not too big, otherwise you'll see the pixels. That's pretty good. Okay, so once we're done with that, we're actually going to now go on and outline this to show that this is what the focus of the thumbnail is, because pictures speak 1,000 words. So in order to do that, go to the third tool from the top. It's called the Polygonal Lasso tool. So we're gonna click that, or you can use L as a hotkey, because Photoshop does have hotkeys, but I don't use them. So hit Alt and use your scroll wheel to zoom in and out. We're gonna zoom in, of course, and we're just gonna start off by clicking an area and dragging it. You can release your mouse when you drag it, because Photoshop is awesome. And we're just gonna do this until we fully outlined it, and just do what I do as a guide. Like, you can slow down the video because just in case, or pause it. Almost done, and boom. Now once we finally done that, hover over the place that we just cut out, hit Control C to copy and Control V to paste, and now it's its own separate layer. Awesome. Now we're just gonna make it pop, and all we gotta do to do that is double click the layer that we just cut out, go to stroke, click that, and you guys can adjust it to your preference. I'm gonna make it 7 seems good, but 8 is better, because it's an even number, and why not? So you guys can set it to whatever you want. And the second thing we're gonna do is go to inner shadow. So click that, and you guys can feel free to copy down whatever I have on the screen on my settings. I don't really play around with anything else except for the size when it comes to these things, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Once you're done, 10, perfect number. Click OK, and now it's actually popping out. Awesome. So once we do that, we're gonna make the actual background pop out, like the Steve, the trees, the, you know, the Skywars background. So to do that, we're just gonna add a simple drop shadow by double clicking here, going all the way down, clicking drop shadow. Oh dear, that looks horrible. Let's take this red down. Okay, there we go. And now let's bring down the size. Now, JUSTVURB doesn't usually use a drop shadow, but this is just like my preference. Lots of other people drop shadow their backgrounds just so that there's a little bit more depth to it. So I'm gonna leave it at 21. The spread can be at 2 or any number within that range. And once you're done with that, we can hit OK. Now we're getting into the little bit more complicated stuff, but don't worry, this is what tutorials are for. So we're gonna add an arrow to point at the door trap, because outlining it isn't enough for JUSTVURB. He likes adding arrows and adding some effects to those arrows, but he uses a special type of arrow sometimes. It's an arrow with a dashed line. So I'm gonna open that up and place it in. All right, here it is. Once you found that, yep, look at all my pictures. I don't care. So once we double click that, we're gonna drag it, and I'm actually going to right click this and flip it horizontal so it flips that way, because that's where we want it to point. And this is the arrow that I'm talking about. Now it's black, but we can fix that with the blending options. All right, so I'm gonna do it like this. Make it a little bigger by holding Control, holding Shift and dragging it so that it maintains its proportional. Okay, so there we go. Once you're done, press enter, and now double click the broken arrow. Go down to color overlay, click it. Now I already got it set to red, but if you don't, just click this color tray and drag it all the way up here and drag this all the way down. And can't get easier than that. Now after we do that, we're gonna add a stroke to the arrow, and it's gonna be a big stroke. Well, not big, but just drag it up to, yeah, okay, so 24 seems good. 24. No, actually, I'm just gonna set it to 20. There we go. Or 18, not 20. Okay, so 20 is good. 20 is good. And last but not least, the drop shadow, the beloved drop shadow. Now we're gonna set the spread to a little bit more because the stroke is a little bit wide. Raise the size, raise this just a little bit, and click OK when you're done. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, we're almost done with the thumbnails, guys. We're almost done. Now I'm pretty sure this is the last thing before we add all the effects like brightness and contrast. So is the text. Now this is where it gets a little complicated because I'm not sure what text he uses, but I was searching through the font and I found a text, but he makes it's a little short and stubby, but I'll show you guys what I mean. So first we're just gonna click here and we're gonna explain what this is because he likes doing that. So we're gonna say door. Oh wait, no, door. And this is the font, Grow Bold. I'll link it in the description, of course, because I'm a nice person. So now we're gonna highlight it, okay? And now we're gonna go over here where the A with the line is. It's called character apparently. So we're gonna click that. We're gonna go all the way down here with the T with the up and down arrow, and we're going to make it a little bit more slender. Just like that. So 124 seems good. So once you do that, you can close that out and we can resize this by going up here, dragging it to the left or right. That seems good. Once you're done, click this arrow and now we can move this and move it over layer 1. There we go. Kind of messed up. It's a little big, so it's overlapping this. You know, I can actually fix this. Yeah, let me adjust it real quick. Alright, I think we're good now. Now, it's not gonna just be called door, but I just did it separately so that I could have more leeway when I'm adding the effects. So we're gonna click this again, and now we're gonna type in trap. Remember to hold down your shift or type in all caps. I don't put the exclamation mark just because like it leaves too much of a space, but I could actually fix that right now with the character tab if I wanted to, but I'm not because nah. So we're gonna make this a little bit smaller, just a little bit, and we're gonna hit the check, and now we're gonna click this, drag this, and if you have the CC version, there should be like this thing, this nice thing with the hot pink lines that show you when it's aligned with thing. Like it just like knows what you want to do. Honestly, if that's the best way I can say it. I'm gonna move door a little bit higher so that there's more of a gap. And after we do that, we're gonna add our effects to the letters. Okay, so let's add our effects. So click on one of them, double click on them, drag it over here so you guys can see. First of all, we're going to add a bevel and emboss, and you guys can just copy down everything you see here. And now, secondly, we're going to add a inner glow, because inner glows are the thing, man. I'm actually gonna add a gradient just so I can see. All right, I am pretty sure this looks good. Pretty sure. Let me just raise the opacity a little. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. Now, thirdly, gradient. I already got it selected. Now, his gradient is kind of similar to my gradient, kind of, but it involves a much more golder looking yellow and darker looking orange. So in order to change that, double click your gradient that you already have, and we're gonna start off by dragging this because this gradient is a little bit shorter than mine. That seems good around this area. Now we're gonna double click this, and we're just gonna drag it a little bit down, and actually drag this down so that it looks a little bit golder or more gold. Okay, that should be good. Okay, not too gold though. And now, last but not least, the orange. So now do the same, just drag it down a little bit, just a little bit, and I think that should be fine. So click OK, and the drop shadow. Now he has this way of doing drop shadows, so I'm just gonna adjust this, and once I do that, you guys can just copy it down. Alright, so just these three numbers: distance 9, spread 47, size 29. Once you do that, click OK. Now here comes the easier part. Now all we gotta do is go to door with all the effects, right click this, click copy layer style. Now right click trap, and click paste layer style, and just like that, your effects from your door have been copied down to trap. It's crazy, I know. Now once we do that, you are basically done. Pat yourself on the back. You just did an intermediate level thumbnail, in my opinion, because this is 30 minutes of recording. So yeah, hopefully you watched to this point. Now the easiest part in this whole tutorial, all you got to do is go to your adjustments, go to your brightness / contrast, and put that down. Now, like I said previously, he likes to use a lot of contrast. Whoa, what happened there? Okay, so I think 50, I'll adjust that later. Now for the contrast, and I mean a lot of contrast. You know, I think putting them both at 50 is good, because this looks 50 contrast and 60 brightness, and that looks the most similar in my opinion. Okay, so this looks a lot like JUSTVURB. If we ignore all those spots that I didn't take care of over there in the trees, this looks like a JUSTVURB thumbnail. So leave a like for that. This is it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching this tutorial on how to do JUSTVURB thumbnails. If you guys want to see more, first of all, comment your suggestions down below and subscribe for more tutorials like this. And also share it with your friends if they've if they're like Photoshop users or Paint.net users and they've always wanted how to make thumbnails, if they haven't gotten inspiration, stuff like that. I don't know, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a safe and enjoyable day, and I'll see you guys in the very next tutorial. Stay awesome, stay beautiful. Peace.